Alright, what's up everyone? Epo Dempsey Roll here, aka Rayo, and I'm back one more time with Bloodborne. Bloodborne has now graduated from the Halloween holidays marathon, spooky month, and we are now in it for the long haul. I have no idea how many more episodes there will be of Bloodborne. I don't know how much more I'll play of it, but it's safe to say that this is a long-term project, that we are going to be hitting it hard. Is that the right thing to say? No. It's just that I'll be playing this game more regularly. Beyond just the Halloween themed month that we just passed. So, give me a second while I get settled in. Ooh, spooky. There's quite a bit that I had done before. I played a fair amount of Bloodborne off stream, doing various things like grinding out the chalices, and I was able to do. I can actually show. Let's see. Is it this one? Or this one? Let's take a look at this. I'm not entirely sure which dungeon this is. But yeah, I was following the guide to do the shortcut. The shortcut dungeons. In order to quickly get to the... What do they call it? FRC dungeons. Fetid, rotted, and cursed chalices. Basically, you just want to get to the point where you can create FRC chalice dungeons, and from that point on, you'll be able to search the big database that people have made. Very extensive. In fact, it's completely accounted for. All variations of the chalice dungeons that can be made have now been accounted for and explored, and they've discovered what you can find from said dungeons. And I'm not really sure. Okay. Yeah, this is the one where I think I chose this dungeon again from the database because you can get waning gems. That's the arc, the crescent shaped ones. Oh my god. Okay, I just need this one. I just need this. They can kill me now. And if you take a look at my health bar up there, it's tiny, right? It's much smaller than what it should be, and that's because it's cursed. Again, that's fetid, rotted, and cursed. That's the C. And cursed dungeons, you have reduced health. I'm not even sure what percentage health is taken off. But yeah, I did this in addition to doing all the grinding and exploration necessary to even summon and create these dungeons, which in itself was a fairly lengthy process. Hey Mojo, how's it going? Let me read your message in a second. And the funny thing about that is I was using the shortcut method. However, you know, the shortcut method only really... Holy shit, how come I'm doing reduced damage here? I think I changed out my gems. Oh my god. Mojo, the only thing that I've seen of Elden Ring is the reveal trailer from this summer. It's gonna stay that way until release. That's very admirable of you. I feel like I feel like I do feel that way sometimes. Like I remember with Dark Souls 3 when that game came out, I was like, wow, they showed so much of the bosses and everything in trailers, so that when the game came out, I was like, all right, well, I kind of remember all of these creatures and bosses from the trailers. So like that element of surprise, I guess, wasn't there. But at the same time, these days, especially with Elden Ring, like we had gone through such a drought, not really seeing anything about that game, that I was like just super desperate. 1 second, 1 second. Oh no, I got distracted for a second. Yeah, we had been so starved for Elden Ring information for so long that I was like, okay, I gotta see this, I gotta see the gameplay. And I also signed up for the beta. It's unlikely that I'll get into the beta, we'll see, but I'll play it then too. I'm kind of hoping that this game is big enough and long enough that no matter what they show in the trailers, we'll still be in for a surprise, hopefully. Okay, what's going on with my okay, I put gems in. Man, this thing, I feel like it's not as strong as it used to be. Let's go back. Also, like, you know, if I'm planning on making a few videos about Elden Ring, like, I'm thinking about making a video talking about the trailer. Like, obviously I need to see the trailer. The trailer already revealed too much for me. I barely remember what I saw, and I'm hoping to forget more. You know, I remember with, oh gosh, what was it, The Matrix 2 and 3, I felt the same way. I was like, oh my god, they've shown too much. I need to go on media blackout. Okay, so let's bump up the strength on this thing. I was planning on bumping up the arcane value, but I think it's no good. I think we're better off bumping up the the arcane. And then we'll try that dungeon once again. I mean, it looks good. I'm hoping that it's as good as it looks. The only real thing that I think is kind of a drawback is just really the graphics. Like, the graphics, they are what they are. It looks more or less like something along the lines of a Dark Souls 3, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. I like how Dark Souls 3 looked, but, you know, of course we are in, you know, the next generation now, so expectations are a little higher for how a game should look now. Let's see. Kin? And it's only really a few months away too. That's the other thing. So yeah, if you can hold off, you might as well just hold off. But I guess from my point of view, I'm just so starved for anything, because if you don't count Sekiro, right? If you don't count Sekiro, then we haven't had a Souls game for a good long time, right? So yeah, I guess I'm having a Souls withdrawal. Okay. Well, let's try out this. This should be actually... Oh, hold on. Let me take a look at the parasite. This is the parasite that I've been working on. If you look here, I have 2 parasites. This is the one that you get for defeating the Orphan of Kos. And then this is the one that you get, that you can purchase in the Chalice dungeon so long as you possess the Kos parasite. And I've done extensive research on all aspects of this game. I kind of got obsessed all over again, probably even more so than the first time I played this game, in terms of looking up the best weapons to put the best gems in, how to get the best gems, motion values for attacks, specific transformed attacks and their bonuses, all sorts of ridiculous stuff. I really went in probably far deeper than was necessary to look up all of this stuff, but yeah, that was something that I was doing during last month in between playing this game on stream. Let's catch up on the messages. Mojo, Demon Souls graphics were so good. Yeah, and hey Goro, how's it going, Blood? Yeah, so Demon Souls graphics, that's kind of the unfortunate situation, if you want to call it that we find ourselves in. It's the fact that the guys who remade Demon Souls have now created a game that is probably going to be far out of touch from a graphical technical standpoint compared to the games that the actual developers of the original game have made. They, you know, as much as I like From Software games, they really aren't known for being graphical powerhouses. I feel like Bloodborne for the time was like a very good looking game, but you know, obviously Bloodborne as well had some technical issues, and still to this day. And Demon Souls is just such a stunner. And I really don't know if FromSoft can ever get to a point where their games are going to look as good as the Demon Souls remake. I kind of doubt it, right? Unless they ever get bought up by Sony, which is unlikely. Mojo, Elden Ring isn't going to look as good as that. No. I mean, we already know how it looks, Elden Ring. And yeah, it just doesn't hold a candle to Demon Souls, unfortunately. But, you know, looks aren't everything. Looks aren't everything. And it looks fine for what it is. It's just like, I think that initial reveal trailer was kind of like the eye-opener for me, where I was like, oh boy, look at this. Okay, this is the damage that I'm looking for. Look at that. That was much better. So yeah, this is what I've been doing when I'm playing this off stream. I'll just kill that one guy and then let these guys kill me, and then I'll respawn and I do it over again. So let's just do this a few times, see if we can get some more gems and see if we can get anything good. How's it going, Goro, by the way? Oh, and Mojo. I saw Dune and I liked it, so I'm not I'm not joining a team anti-Dune. I liked it a lot. It's I mean, yes, it does kind of end abruptly, but I didn't feel like shortchanged for where it ended in particular. I felt like I had an adventure, you know. And yeah, I don't know about you, but at the very beginning it did say Dune Part 1. Oh yeah, I gotta get killed by these guys. So yeah, I got a cursed blood gem. So let's try this one more time. See what we can get on a second run. And then we'll generate a second dungeon and try and get some stuff from there. I think that once you get to PS3, graphics aren't super important. Wit is Doom. Wit in Doom is the best games of all time. Not entirely sure what you're saying there. Oh, I just wait. Whoops. Yeah, you're a little incoherent there, Goro. Are you having some kind of issue there? Having a stroke, maybe? Oh shit, oh my god. But I would disagree, though, to your point earlier. Once you get to PS3, graphics aren't super important. Graphics are always going to be important at the end of the day. And they're never going to stop looking better and better. Certainly we've gotten to a point where graphics, in terms of like the sheer geometry of models and polygons that we're seeing in stages and character models, they're kind of getting bottle capped. Like, we're not going to really perceive a difference between, like, I don't know, 10 million polygons in a figure in a character model and 20 million or 30 million for that matter. And those are just like numbers I made up, by the way. I have no idea if models are that large nowadays. Cursed damp blood gem. Okay, let's get out of here. And if you go back and like play PS3 games now, they're like, ew. So like that alone kind of tells you like graphics are kind of important. Mojo, Doom Part 1 was revealed too late. Marketing for the movie was always just Dune, and I didn't find out it was Part 1 until the title showed up. Oh yeah, that's true. For the entire marketing of that game, they have always called it Dune, not Dune Part 1, which is a little sneaky on their part, for sure. So you know what? I really don't know how I'd feel if I played the game and I didn't know it was a Part 1. Did I say play the game? If I watched the movie and if I didn't know it was just part 1, I don't know how I'd feel about that, to be honest. I mean, in my opinion, I enjoyed what I saw, and I felt like it was a long movie, and by the time it ended, I was like, all right, that was a good chunk of my time, and I enjoyed it a lot. But you know, it was time to end. And I'm actually gonna probably go out and buy the book at some point. Hypogean Jail. Nightmare Frontier. Man, where am I supposed to go next? Holy crap. Moonside Lake. Okay. Shoot. Yahar'gul. The chapel. You know what? I may have missed some things in Yahar'gul. Let's go there. I feel like the movie is trash because that's what happened to me, Mojo. Yeah. I'm glad that it's getting a sequel. Like they were kind of dangling that in front of people for a good long while. Like, well, basically, what was it? Like they waited until the week of the North American launch. Oh boy. Oh my gosh, I'm having a bad time. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh boy. This is bad. This is bad. But I would say, like, from my point of view, I'm someone that has never really fully understood or enjoyed Dune, and I've kind of like attempted to engage with it a number of times, a number of different ways, and it never fully connected with me. Right, from the Lynch movie to the TV show, and whatever else. Never played the games. And for me, I felt like this was the first time with that movie, the new one, where I was like, okay, I understand the motives, I understand the factions, I understand all of this stuff. I don't know if it's like it's just like a matter of like where I am personally in my life. I'm a little older now, so I can kind of like fully grasp these things. I was like a dumb kid before, or what. But yeah, I was able to better enjoy what was on offer here with Dune. I'm actually not really sure why I'm here right now. I'm thinking that I missed some items. And yeah, a little later, I want to talk about what we've seen in the latest Elden Ring 15-minute gameplay trailer. But I'll wait till we can get into that. Now, I'll probably use this as a way of like sort of sorting out my thoughts. Oh, someone's angry. Sorting out my thoughts because I'll probably make another separate video looking at the gameplay and talking about it. There's some really interesting stuff. I got bamboozled with Dune Part 1. So I'm warning as much people as I can so they don't get the same feeling I did watching Dune. Yeah, that's again, a very, very noble of you there, Mojo. Although I don't think you have to worry too much, just because at this point it's kind of a known quantity that it is Part 1 and that it's getting a sequel. But actually, you know what? It does remind me of when Kill Bill came out, the first part. I remember there was this one guy back in college, and he was just incensed. He was so upset with Kill Bill Part 1, and again for very similar reasons, because it wasn't like a complete movie. It was like just Part 1, and there, in some respects, there wasn't like the resolution that you might expect to have in a full movie that's gonna tell a complete story. You know what? There's a gap. Okay, what's here? I really don't know. But yeah, for my part, I never felt that way about Kill Bill. I just liked. I guess with some movies, it's kind of less about a story, even though I did like the story in Kill Bill Part 1 and 2, and less about the characters necessarily going on a full complete arc. But rather, it's more of like a... I don't know how to call it. More like a aesthetic experience, or more of like just an experience, a visual experience. Bloodstone chunk, nice. I need those. Cool. Okay, that's good. Okay, let's creep up on this dog here. Not dead yet? Another bloodstone chunk? Holy! And shards? God damn. Goro, I've seen the Dune movie multiple times, enjoyed the series and the book, and the game, and for me I was nerding out, like old fans do when something is done well. But I can't be objective about Dune. And you mean the Lynch movie, I figured. The thing with Kill Bill Volume 1, and this is Mojo by the way, is that it's a movie with gratuitous violence, and that's its main attraction as a movie. Right. And I feel like with Dune, for me, the main attraction was at least in part, was the world building. I really liked. Oh look, it's amygdala. Holy shit, these things are huge. Damn. Yeah, I really felt like the world building and the planet Arrakis itself was like the star. Okay, what's the deal with this? I think it's a teleportation device. Time for cleansing? Huh? Oh. Yeah, I think this will teleport me to a different area. But, you know, I always go back to this idea, and this actually kind of circles back around to Elden Ring and Bloodborne and Dark Souls. I always go back around to this idea that, like, I'm kind of glad that there are movies and games out there that some people are going to love, and some people are just going to completely hate. Um, and it's not really my job, nor do I really desire to like change anyone's mind about something. That's kind of like the obnoxious thing about the discourse about movies these days, especially when it comes to, like, I remember with Star Wars, like the newest Star Wars movies, you get all these people like ranting and raving on the internet, trying to convince you that the way they feel about a movie is wrong, and that in fact you should feel the same way that the other person feels about a movie. And it's just like, no, I think the movie sucks, like, or I think it's good, and you know, that's fine. Holy shit, these guys are attacking me with spears, with javelins of blood. And yeah, that even goes back to Dark Souls and stuff. You know, there's this whole... There's a lot of people out there that kind of want Dark Souls to be something that it's not. They want like an easy option and this and that. And I don't know. I don't really know where I fall on that, but I feel like if you don't like the game how it is and you want it to be something else, maybe just play something else. Like, it's okay that a game isn't for you, and the same thing applies to movies, right? It's okay that like a movie isn't for you. It's even weird that like people need to be told this in some regards. I find it so bizarre that like people aren't allowed to have their opinions, and yeah, I'm only saying this just because I'm not here to change like anyone's mind about Dune or Dark Souls or any kind of game or movie, right? Like, if you feel that way about it, then that's cool. Where are we going? Is this a... Okay, let's stand here for... Oh, crap, I can't get back. Yep, play a different game, you scrub. Yeah, play a different game. Go play Battle for Bikini Bottom, SpongeBob. And the other thing, too, about that argument with regards to Souls game in particular is that the marketing has done a really good job telling people that it's a hard game, an unrelenting, hard, and unforgiving game. Yet there are many mechanics in place to make the game easier, such that effectively there is kind of like an easy mode in the game, at least in terms of like getting you situated and understanding how to play the game. And then from there you can kind of take on the challenge at like a normal quote-unquote level, right? And by that I mean things like in Dark Souls 1 you've got the Drake Sword. You can, very early on in the game, you can shoot a dragon's tail off and then get its tail and use it as a weapon. And that weapon will see you through the game about 1/3 of the game through, right? You can use that sword for like 1/3 of the game, and it's so good that you'll be fine. And while you're learning and struggling with the game, or not struggling, because again that sword is quite powerful, you're sort of learning the ropes of Dark Souls, so that by the time that weapon starts to get outpaced in terms of damage dealing, and you're looking into other weapons, you will have become more comfortable with Dark Souls, and then you can play it at a, you know, quote-unquote normal difficulty level. Shit, what are we doing? Did I get everything that there is to get? I'm not really sure. Let's just run through these guys and investigate. But there's other things as well, right? Not even just... Oh, the damage. Not even in terms of finding the Drake Sword, but there's things like... Oh boy, they're following me. There's things like co-op, right? You can use co-op to help you defeat bosses. There's things like leveling up. Like any RPG, you can always level up at the end of the day and get stronger. All sorts of things that you can do. I watched so many, going back to Dune real quick, I watched so many YouTube videos since I've watched the movie talking about the lore of Dune, and it's so cool, it's so interesting, and I have a little bit of a footing, a little bit of grounding in the lore of Dune. I have a loose understanding of things just because it's actually quite similar to the lore in 40k, which is something that I'm also quite familiar with. I used to play Warhammer 40k. I used to paint the models and everything. I still do to some extent. And so in the Dune lore, when they talk about like interstellar travel and you need this resource to do so, right? This very hard to come by resource. I'm like, yeah, I know about that. Or like that there was this, there was some kind of war against AI, that necessitated, oh, can I get through here? Okay. Like the expulsion of high-tech machinery and AI, and that they then had to find alternate methods to navigate the stars and do complex calculations and stuff. All of that is very, very much Warhammer 40k. Or rather, Warhammer 40k is very much like Dune in that regard. They, I don't think that they were very shy about admitting that they were ripping off Dune in the early days, but of course, in the many years since then, 40k has kind of developed into its own thing. But in those early days, or the very how to say, the formulative years in the lore, I could say, yes, it was very much inspired by Dune, no doubt about it. So yeah, I've done everything that you can do here. I feel like I should go someplace else. I'm not really sure where, but we'll figure it out. We will figure it out. Let's go back to the... Oh crap, this thing doesn't work. Okay, let's just use one of these babies. Mojo. What people aren't fans of Souls games are looking for are the systems they've taken for granted. Maps, for example, as well as an overabundance of checkpoints, waypoints too. As a person being introduced to Dune through the movie did a poor job in explaining what is shown. It's a movie for those that have read the book. Disagree. Again, having not read the book, I feel like I was pretty familiar, or not familiar, but I kind of understood enough about it. And I'm also the type of person, I should say, I'm also the type of person that doesn't mind a lack of explanation. I don't mind when things are mysterious. That's just me, though. Speaking of maps, Mojo, and I don't know if you want to be here for this, because like I said, I'm going to be talking about Elden Ring. But maps are a thing in Elden Ring. And it's a lovely looking map, I must say. I like maps. I'm a weird guy that likes maps. I remember the days when you bought special editions for games and they would come with cloth maps. The map that is shown in the latest Elden Ring gameplay trailer, they show a map, and it's worthy of being a cloth physical item. Mojo, I'm talking about the shield and gun dynamic. Oh, so you're saying people people who don't really rock the Souls type games, they don't really like the shield or the guns. I could see that. I could see that. Because a lot of people, like, you know, for so long, many games are just about, like, slashing and being crazy, right? And then here you are with, like, a Souls game where suddenly you have to slow down and be mindful of your stamina and all that. Hey, I got a Bloodstone Gem. But these Bloodstone Gems suck, by the way. They suck. I'm looking for rank 5. I think that the gems go up to rank 5. This is actually an optional area. I actually have... Oh boy. I'm a little lost in terms of where I'm supposed to go to progress the main story, but whatever. We'll figure it out. Oh, the shield and guns in Dune. Actually, yeah. You know what? I was wondering about that too. That is something that I looked up afterwards as to why is it that the ships have firepower, and in melee they're just like the ground troops just use melee weapons and shields. I had to look that up. But even, yeah, in terms of the shields, and like the slow attacks versus the piercing attacks, yep. That's all things I kind of looked into a little more closely afterwards. It's but you know what? From my point of view, again, like as I was watching the movie, I kind of questioned that, but it wasn't something that like that kind of detracted from my experience, and I just assumed that it was like this, you know, one of those things where you're like, okay, well, this is just an aesthetic thing that I'll just take for granted. I'll just take at face value that this is the way the world works, and maybe later on I'll look into that and see if there's actually more to it. There actually is. But if there wasn't, I guess I would have been kind of fine with that. And yeah, like the movie it does a pretty good job of like setting up the world and the lore, at least in my opinion. And like making you feel like Arrakis and the people and the culture, they have this history there. I really liked that about that movie, but when it came to like, yeah, the guns and stuff, or rather the lack of firearms in close combat for the military troops, yeah, that was something where like either I was gonna have to let that slide, or yeah, I would have to look into that more and see if there was actually anything more to it. Oh boy. Oh no, this is gonna hurt. Ooh, wait, there's something up here. Holy crap, how do I get there? Okay. What is this? Give me a chunk. Cold dew flower bud? I don't need that. Oh, the poison. How strong are these guys? Can they throw rocks into here? Not really. Oh shit. Wow, that hurt. So yeah, this is an optional area. I guess we might as well continue. I don't like those things. They're bad. Sorry, I'm not going to be able to read the messages just now. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, actually, here's a good opportunity. Let's catch up. Ba ba ba. Hey, it's Bacon. Elden Ring. Yes, I would like to discuss what we have seen in Elden Ring. I will discuss that shortly. Mojo, that's my reasoning for saying it's a movie for those who've read the book. Readers have prior knowledge and experience it differently because their mind is free from trying to understand what's going on. They're appreciating the book through the movie. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could say that I'm just the type of person that kind of is willing to let certain things slide, like those details. And again, I'm not a book reader, so yeah. Now let's see, what am I looking for? The sedative. You know what? Since I'm here, crap. I'd like to. No, now's not the time for this. I was thinking about doing a bit of Pokemon Snap in Bloodborne and taking some pictures of this monster. I already did, but I'd like to kind of get a look at it and talk about it as a monster, because I'd like to make a few videos. I've already made 2 videos about like my top favorite creepy and gross monsters in Bloodborne, and the what is it, the Moonlight Lantern? This is like one of them. But I also would like to progress. Bacon, so you haven't seen the Elden Ring video yet. Do you intend to? Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's building already. Holy crap. Wow, look at the frenzy. Holy shit. Yeah, if you don't intend to, and you don't really want to learn more about the game, I'm planning on talking about it a little bit, just because I'm sort of sorting through my own thoughts about the game. Oh my god. The lanterns. The lanterns. Oh shit, I'm alive. Oh, I thought I was dead. God damn. Oh boy. Okay, so this is the plan. We're gonna just blow by all of this stuff and unlock the shortcut. I believe there's a shortcut that I can get to. So yeah, I think I'll talk about Elden Ring now as I die, making my way through the Nightmare Frontier. I guess my overall impression from what I've seen so far is that it's improved. Like, my overall impression of the game is improved. That is, initially when I saw the game, that first reveal, I was like, meh, it looks okay. It looks like Dark Souls 3 plus alpha. But I'm not really seeing, like, the benefits of being on the next-gen console. I'm not really getting that feeling that this is like something exceptional, I guess is what I want to say. But having seen the extended gameplay, I feel like I better understand what they're going for here. I feel more confident that while visually on like a raw graphics level, it doesn't look like a next-gen quote-unquote game, I feel that what we're seeing here still seems like an improvement over Dark Souls, and that really just comes down to the draw distance. So take for example this, right? Like we're overlooking a big foggy mass, and then there's this tower over there. These are all these are places that you can get to eventually, but you have to take like a route, right? Because this is like, you know, this is a game that is structured as a level, right? And that's how all Bloodborne rather all Souls games have been like up until now, right? They've all been structured as levels. But with Elden Ring, because it's an open world game, you know, you're just seeing... Oh my god, the frickin' lantern again. God damn. Makes sense since it looks open world. It looks open world, and I think it's safe to say it is more or less like an open world game, at least in terms of like how vast the areas are. Unfortunately, I'm still going to put my... I'm gonna put it out there, and I think that they've said this already, that there really isn't towns. I think that's kind of unfortunate, because that's something that we see in all Souls games. Is that you're basically playing as a dude in a world where all the catastrophic and major events have already happened, right? The world has you know, diminished and has gone through some gigantic change already. All these gigantic and epic events have already occurred, and you're just some guy walking around in this world hundreds of years later, just making sense of everything that happened before, right? You could say that about Demon Souls, Dark Souls, Bloodborne, all of the Souls games, right? And I was kind of hoping that with Elden Ring, there was an opportunity there to kind of change things up a bit. And again, when you say that a game is open world, that makes me think of towns, that makes me think of cities, that makes me think of populated you know, gatherings of people. And yet, no, I don't think we're going to be getting that in Elden Ring. Yet again, you're just going to be this guy walking around in a post-history world. Like, that's a word I made up, but what I mean is like all the history has occurred in Elden Ring, and you're just a guy walking around in the aftermath. Okay, gotta keep my eye on the frenzy meter. Oh shit, I need these things. That's what it seems like to me, at least. And holy crap, I thought I was gonna die there. And I do think that that they've said as much in some interview at some point. Now, let me discuss... Ooh, I'm poisoned. Oh boy. Let's not go that way. Oh boy. Let me discuss real quick something that I saw on the map. So there is a shot of the map in Elden Ring, and that's kind of a turning point for FromSoft games, at least this modern era of FromSoft games. These games normally don't have a map, and that's something that is a part of the game design, right? Because you're sort of navigating these worlds and building the map in your mind. And even the act of dying over and over again is intended to kind of help you understand the map better, such that you get to a point where, because you've died so much, because you've explored the map so extensively, that it's something that you could picture in your mind with your eyes closed. And I feel that, oh my gosh, I feel that way about a lot of areas in the Souls games, like especially the original first areas of the game, like the castle in Demon Souls, the starter area in Bloodborne, even. All of these areas, I feel like I've become so familiar with them that there really isn't a need for a map, right? Because you've kind of built that up in your head. Now, That's only possible because these areas in these games are structured like levels, right? Maze-like kind of levels. And with Elden Ring, we are now getting into this new era of FromSoft games where they're going to be using an open world, and of course, if it's an open world, you're gonna need a map now, right? To navigate these areas. They're so large and so vast. And along with the map, they have included markers. You can put markers on the map to sort of pinpoint areas of interest for you. Interestingly, though, the map does not include. It doesn't show any icons, like preset icons, at least as far as I've noticed. In the Ubisoft sense, like an Assassin's Creed game, the map doesn't show like, oh, here's a tower, gotta get here. Oh, here's a side quest, gotta do that. You know what I mean? It doesn't do that. Although it's possible that the map might have these things. It's just that they decided not to show it. In the same way that they don't really show the UI for these games during previews, if you get what I'm saying. Mojo, GG, alright man. Thanks for stopping by. Too much Elden Ring info. Yeah, I warned you. Bacon, yeah. Well, you know what, like, I mean, talking about it and actually seeing it is something different. Also, like, Mojo seems like the type of guy that doesn't like to get spoiled on anything, whereas I'm kind of the opposite these days. These days I'm kind of like, so long as you're not spoiling huge things, I'm okay. Like talking about a map, for example, isn't a terribly huge thing that's going to like ruin my experience just because I know that there's a map or anything. But that's all kind of like, I'll say, standard stuff. Let's call it standard, boring map stuff. Although it is, as I said, it is interesting that there aren't any kind of Ubisoft-like waypoint markers or anything like that, at least so far. What I will say is interesting when they showed the map was that on the bottom right corner there was this indicator saying daylight or daytime. So it makes me wonder if this game has a day-night cycle. So that, you know, as you're playing the game, daytime turns to afternoon and afternoon turns into night. I'm wondering if there's something like that. And, whoa, is someone attacking me? And it also makes me think that perhaps you can manipulate that yourself, right? You could basically go into the map menu and change the time of day. I'm thinking that might be a possibility, which would be pretty interesting, because that also leads to some interesting questions regarding what you could do with that from a story or a gameplay or a mechanical standpoint. What could you be doing with that? What else is here? I have no idea. Wow. Okay. We're just making our way slowly here. I really don't know what's here. Frenzied cold blood. Oh my god, it's a winter lantern. I don't want to deal with those. No thank you, no thank you. Oh my gosh. What? Is this a dead end? Oh, okay, so there was something else that I wanted to talk about regarding the map, but I kind of lost track of everything. Oh. Let's get this, whatever this is. Okay. Thick cold blood. Deep Great Sea, that's a Carol rune that you can place on in your mind. Much in the same way that I placed the Carol rune to make myself a broccoli person. Well, while I kind of try and remember the other thing I wanted to say about the maps, I will say that they show, oh man, where the heck am I going? Oh, I don't want to deal with that lantern. That they show this kind of like a on-the-spot mission, if you want to call it that, where you are just going around the map and you happen upon like I don't know if you remember from those trailers, but there were these giants that were carrying like a large cart, a large like caravan, I guess you could say, and then there were these troops. Okay, tell you what, I'm just gonna do this, because I'm totally lost. There were these troops kind of coming along with it. Well, eventually, it seems like those caravans actually stop at a certain point and kind of make an encampment in like a protected area, and you can find these areas and approach them however you want. You can use stealth, or you can go guns blazing, so to speak, and grab up. Giving you commentary on the trailer, and you can grab the treasure that they're protecting. That sequence is actually pretty cool, just because they kind of give you a sense of the different ways you can approach situations. So you can approach them, you know, standard combat, but you can also stealth, and you know, for me, since I haven't played Sekiro, the notion of stealth in a Souls-like game is very novel to me. Like, it's kind of a new thing. So that's very interesting. I think that's going to be really cool. And actually, while I'm on the subject, during that part where they're going and attacking the caravan, you kind of see how it seems to me like magic and combat are flowing together as one in a more like unified kind of way. Because I feel like in many Souls games, you're kind of like making explicitly a magic type build, or you're making a combat build, and maybe you'll have a little magic on the side, but yeah, you're either going like magic or you're going combat. But it seems like now in Elden Ring that's more of a, oh my gosh, that's more of a, it's more fluid, I guess I could say, which is really interesting. They show that you can kind of go in and out between combat. And there's something else that I wanted to mention. You can do combat. You can attack from the horse, which is pretty cool, right? Like that's That's something that I think that they may have shown in the past, but I wasn't entirely sure to what extent. But you can also cast magic from your mount too, which is pretty cool. And I'm wondering how much can you do in terms of like normal combat from a mounted position, like from your horse. I'm going to guess that you can't do every single thing that you could do on foot that you could do as a mount, on a mount. But it seems to me like you can do a whole lot more than I was originally anticipating. So that's pretty neat. But also, I noticed that you can do attacks from the air too. And again, I haven't played Sekiro, so I really don't know if that was a Sekiro thing as well. If you could jump and attack. But to me, that seems really cool. And not only can you jump and attack, but you can also shoot. You can also, if you have a bow, you can jump and shoot your bow. That's pretty neat to me. It seems to me like the combat is a whole lot more mobile, I guess you could say, because in the earliest Souls games, from Demon Souls to Dark Souls, there was a very kind of static notion to the fighting, where you kind of like had to choose, like, okay, this is my turn. It was like almost like a turn-based game in a weird way. Many people actually described Dark Souls and Demon Souls as kind of like actually a turn-based game, because you kind of waited for the enemy to do their attack, and then you would do your attack. But now, it just seems a whole lot more mobile. Now that you can attack from your horse, now that you can, oh boy, I'm running out of, gotta be a bit more conservative now. Ooh, we gotta heal, we gotta heal. Shit. Yeah, I think we need to switch to our other weapon here. Oh crap. Okay, I think we gotta back things up. Wow, look at the geysers of blood coming out from the back where it ripped off its own arms and is using it as a weapon now. Oh no, not good. Oh crap. Oh shit. Bacon, magic animation so much better now. Actually, yeah, I've noticed that too. There's a couple of magic attacks where before in a Souls game, you might just stick out your wand and just kind of fire it off, and if you press the magic button again, you'd fire it off and it'd be the same animation. But now it's like this, it's kind of like you cast, if you're casting it twice in a row, you'll kind of do 2 swipes, one from the left and one from the right, and that was really nice. That was a really nice touch. There's a lot of cool little adjustments like that in this game, where, you know, they're still using at its heart the same animation. They're still using like the same kind of animation, going who knows how far back. Oh, that guy disappeared. Crap. But there's a lot of nice little tweaks that make it seem like they've really improved things. Okay, where's the shortcut? Oh crap, this isn't it. Oh well. Shard. There's a lot in the trailer that people already have been kind of examining. And again, going back to the map, they show portions of the map, and yeah, people on the internet have already assembled the map to get like a better overall look at how big this world is, and it's pretty interesting, pretty big. I'm wondering if anyone has figured out at the very end of the trailer. I got a boulder thrown on me. Yeah, you're swinging the wand around, Bacon. Yeah, it's really neat. And the magic spell where you kind of summon these little lights, and then they kind of like swarm together and go up into a void, like a cloud void, and then rain down as like arrows. That was really cool. In fact, the focus on magic in the trailer overall makes me think, again, to my previous point, that it seems to me that magic is going to be a much more... What's going on here? Oh, it's death. Magic's going to be a much more central aspect of the game. Something that you're going to be kind of going between melee and magic in a more fluid kind of manner. Magic will be OP'd. It might be. In fact, you know, it might be the thing that kind of casualizes the game, right? They make magic look really fun and attractive, and that'll be the thing that gets casuals into the game. And in addition to being fun to use and really cool and over the top, it's actually OP. And then the casuals can have their fun with that. And then maybe for people that want a more traditional Souls experience, maybe they can choose to use not magic. Maybe that's what they'll do. I was looking for this shortcut. I couldn't find it that last life. So if you notice, Bacon, I don't know if you saw that part in the gameplay yet, but there's this segment where there's a boss encounter in the overworld. They describe it as a boss, and yet there was no fog gate. It just seems like you're kind of traveling through an area, and then a boss encounter occurs. It's the knight that's mounted on a horse, and the player has a co-op buddy with them. So that's pretty interesting. That's pretty interesting because it makes me think, yeah, there'll be overworld bosses that we'll have to deal with. And can you just be roaming around the world and then suddenly you get into a giant fight? That would be interesting. But in that segment where they're fighting that boss in the forest, the co-op buddy uses a giant dragon head as an attack, right? It's like she pulls out a severed head, and then it like geysers of fire come out. And then later in the trailer, you see the boss. Something, I forget the boss's name, but he pulls out the very same head. The very same head, and uses it in a similar fashion. Actually, no, he has like more attacks with it. But I'm wondering if the whole head thing is maybe like similar to Dark Souls, where many Dark Souls enemies and bosses, you could sever their tails and then use their tail to turn into magic spells, turn into weapons, and maybe that's the case for perhaps different things like heads or even arms. We know that from many trailers in the past, there's been a focus on arms. So yeah, maybe there's this notion of like severing whether it be heads or tails as a means of getting more attacks. That would be interesting. Oh shit. Oh, I'm stuck. Okay. Okay, let's play cool. Look for our chances. Gotta be cool. Look for our chances. This guy would be a fantastic drummer. Okay, we got it. Whew. So there's a collector's edition that comes with a helmet. Is that are there two collector's editions? Or is there just a one? I wasn't too sure about that. There was the statue, there was the figure, and then they showed the helmet, but I don't know if that's just one or two different things. Wondrous bonfire. Let's go. So another thing that I noticed was that, as I mentioned before, you can attack while jumping. And in one sequence, you do the jumping attack and you stagger the enemy. So it makes me wonder if they then say that you can stagger enemies or something along the lines of like break their guard by using heavy attacks as well as attacks from a higher elevation. So to me that means jumping attacks will act as a kind of guard break as well. And that actually has some really interesting PvP implications, because does that mean that there's going to be people just jumping around like madmen trying to attack each other? Bacon, there are two. One of them only comes with the statue and the other one comes with both the statue and the helmet. Okay. Yeah, to be honest, I probably will just get the normal edition, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Let's see. Can I level up?
Well, what? Very well. Let me...
So what are your thoughts so far? I'm assuming that you've seen the whole thing, Bacon. What are your thoughts so far? Does it look good to you?
Farewell, good. May you find...
Looks pretty good to me. Fortify. Nice. Yeah, I can take this to level 9 now? Let's do it. Beautiful. All I need is a rock. All I need is the blood rock now. That's pretty cool. Let's repair. Okay, tell you what, guys. How about we have a little fun now? Hold on. Okay, I can't upgrade the claw. I did obtain the claw. Do I have gems in the claw? Oh, I do, but I need to unlock the last slot. Well, let's see. Okay, you guys know that for the entirety of me playing this game on stream, I've been Mr. Broccoli or Cauliflower Head. I even got this cool outfit from the Chalice Dungeons to kind of complete the look, the whole tentacled look. Very nice, very nice. But originally my plan was not to be Mr. Cauliflower Head. Originally my plan was to be something else, something thrilling. And if I wasn't afraid of DMCA strikes, and if I actually had the means to do this, I would have had Michael Jackson's Thriller playing right now. There we go. I wanted to be a Wolfman while playing this game for Halloween, but it just didn't work out in terms of unlocking the things I needed to unlock and getting as strong as possible. Look, I even have the stink lines. I've got like stinky gas lines coming out of my character. But yeah, that's kind of what I was aiming to do originally. That might have to wait for next Halloween, I guess, but then again, Halloween is eternal. We can always enjoy Halloween all year long. And I really love how the character looks. And the reason why I took off the armor, the body armor, was because you get the full look here. You get the full look at the Beastman character. And the attacks for this are so cool. Bacon. Yeah, you don't trust the statue quality. Yeah, I know exactly what you mean. The quality of the statue is simply going to be, you know, your typical game collector's edition statue, or it's made out of a rubbery material and the paint job is going to be like subpar. Bacon, the game looks great. The base combat is still very Dark Souls, with a hint of Sekiro in it. Graphics are better than you thought, and more interestingly, way more color than a typical Souls game. Yes, I've noticed that too. There's something kind of, I'll even say kind of garish about the colors and the choices that they've used for the colors, and in some regards, it kind of reminds me of areas in Demon Souls. Not the remaster, but rather the original game, which often used very kind of sickly colors at times. Bacon, conflicted about the map. It doesn't seem Souls-like, but at the same time, it's necessary. Yeah, so I'm expecting that the overworld is going to have a map. The overworld will have the map. However, when you're in the dungeons, whether it be underground or in a castle, as they show at the end, I'm guessing that those areas, which are more traditional Souls-like dungeons, right? I'm going to guess that they don't have maps. That's just going to be a guess on my part. Feel free to write more of your impressions in the chat. I'll read them when I get back. But I'm going to take a break. You guys can take a look at my Beastman character right here. But I'll be on a break, so I'll catch you guys in about 5 to 10 minutes. Wow. I just noticed that my health almost completely evaporated. That's because this weapon here, let's see. Oh. HP gradually depletes -9. Yikes. Let's alright, let's do a run and just mess around with this and enjoy the thriller night. I invite anyone still watching to queue up a second window tab and play Michael Jackson's Thriller if you can find it as you're playing. I can't do that for fear of DMCA strikes, but do it privately in the comforts of your own home as we do Thriller Night. So yeah, hold on. Yep. And there we go. I really like the attacks for this, but I'm not used to it as a weapon. This is my favorite though. It's like a dash. Get like an air dash. Or a dive kick. And the more you attack when you're using this, the more damage you do. If you add beast blood pellets, you can even increase the damage you do more so, which is pretty cool. And yeah, my health is ticking down. I actually wasn't paying attention to the gems that I put on. I just got the ones with the biggest numbers, so if I was taking this seriously as a build, I probably wouldn't include something that ticks my health down so much. But this is really fun. It's just really cool to be a beast. You know, when this game was originally sort of like announced and there were these rumors about it. I remember there was talk about how there were beasts and it was kind of like werewolves and invasions were still a thing, and it made me think, oh my gosh, am I gonna get to become a werewolf and like invade people as a werewolf? That's I honestly thought, like, from the loose scraps of information that we had about this game, I thought that that was gonna be a thing. It's not, unfortunately. Oh crap. I'm not used to fighting this way though. Let's try this. And yeah, this weapon isn't upgraded, so... Yeah, the fact that my health is ticking down, that's a cool move too. Like you scrape the ground. Woohoo! Yeah, the damage, not too good. It's the weapon isn't upgraded. I think it's only like 4 plus 4, so. But I think that this weapon is pretty fast. Maybe even just slightly slower than the Blades of Mercy. And also my build, like my stats aren't really kind of optimized for this. But at the very least, I should be able to run around Yarnum and kind of have fun as a werewolf man. Ah! So is that move different than the beast roar? Let me see. Do I even have the stats to use it? Beast roar. Oh, beast roar seems faster. Does it knock people away? Let's see. Yeah, it does. That's actually pretty cool. Holy shit. I'm really just messing around. This obviously isn't where I'm supposed to go to progress the story more, but I just kind of wanted to mess around a little bit as a beast. We'll do it a little more. We'll mess around a little more as a beast, and then we'll get back to whatever it is I need to do to progress the story. I really am not sure. Okay, let's go this way. Actually, let's beat those big guys up. See how we fare against them. Okay, let's get a sneak attack on this guy. Oh, it doesn't actually count as a sneak attack? Or was I coming in at the wrong angle? And I actually took notes about Elden Ring as I was watching the trailer for a second time, so might get into that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What's going on here? Where was the parries? Clearly I'm too much of a noob for this weapon. I was just starting to get used to battling with the parasite, and now I'm using this thing. Alright. Hold on, let me see. Okay, what if I was... Okay, can I get the backstab with this? No. Yeah, the attacks are really cool. I like the running one. This one here. Oh, no, not that. This one? You scrape the ground? That's so cool. Come here, you bastard. Okay, I had a gun. I didn't have my gun out. Okay. Oh, the other guy has my souls. Or blood echoes, to use the proper terminology. Retrieved. So yeah, let's kill these guys up on this bridge, and then I'll return back to the dream. And I think there's a few more things that I wanted to talk about Elden Ring. As I said, I took some notes, like a big dork. And so maybe I'll just go over my notes. And again, I'm actually just kind of sorting through my thoughts about what we saw. And I'll be putting up a video later on, probably by tomorrow on YouTube, kind of fleshing out those thoughts. By that time, I guess it'll be a little too late. You know how these things work on YouTube. All these guys, all the big YouTubers, I'm sure, already have their thoughts and opinions about Elden Ring already. You know, gotta be first. But I'm not really in a big rush. I definitely wanted to make a video, but I'm not trying to chase the big boys, so to speak. And they all do a good job. I'm sure that, like, you know, whatever I end up talking about won't be as in-depth as all the big guys talk about, but, you know, I just wanted to also put together my thoughts, I guess. Woo. Okay, we got them all. Switch out our weapons so we don't... bacon. Those are more like reactions rather than an in-depth breakdown. Although I'm sure that by tonight or tomorrow, Vati and all those guys will have their in-depth thoughts as well. I mean, it's their job, so... Oh! Bad timing on my part. I'm also taking more damage because I have no torso armor. It's just so cool. Look at this. This is Bloodborne. It is Bloodborne. Where's the roar? Ah! And where's the other roar? Oops. How strong is this? Vati, you won't believe what you missed from Elden Ring trailer. Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of Vati, to be honest. There's actually a lot of legitimate reasons to be, you know, not the biggest Vati fan. He did plagiarize in the past, multiple times, if I'm not mistaken. But to his credit, he actually, for many of the thumbnails, all of the thumbnails, he uses, illustrators to make his thumbnails, and he pays them. So I think that's pretty sweet. There's a lot of YouTubers out there that just take imagery off the internet wherever they find them, DeviantArt, and without any credit or payment. So I give them credit for that at least. I mean, maybe he's kind of like turned a new leaf. Maybe he's a new man and he has sworn off plagiarism and he doesn't do that anymore. I really don't know. I don't really care. And actually, the main reason why I don't really follow his videos is because I'm not too crazy about his presentation style. The way that he... excuse me. The way that he's like... telling you the lore of the games is like he's trying to spook you, like he's telling you a Halloween campfire story or something like that. I don't really care for that too much, but I'm sure, I mean, obviously he's very successful, so, you know, that's just a me problem. There's lots of people that enjoy his stuff. Also, another thing about Vati is that I feel like he kind of came into the whole Souls thing at a time where there was already these established people doing Souls content, and I wouldn't say that he's a bandwagoner, right? Riding the bandwagon, but I felt like I was already a fan of Epic Namebro and Quelaag. Quelaag was like the OG. They had been doing content for Demon Souls, like, at this point it was like, I don't know, 15 years ago or something, and Quelaag just had like a really crappy webcam, and it was really like poorly done stuff, but that was the only place to get info about the lore of Souls at the time. And then Dark Souls came out, as well, and of course, epic name, bro. And these days, epic name, bro, mostly plays on Twitch. Wow, wow, wow. Okay, so I realized that I totally got distracted by talking about all this stuff, and I was supposed to go back to the main hub and discuss more about Elden Ring, so let's do that. Let us do that. Bacon, or how he presents his theory as facts. Yes, I do remember you were saying that. Yeah, I haven't really paid too much attention to what he's been doing lately, but that would also be a very good reason to not be a fan of his stuff. Because I do think that there is kind of like some things in Souls games where there is like a bit of concrete evidence that leads from one thing to another, but there are definitely just as much stuff that are open to interpretation, right? And I do remember that now that I'm talking about it, I remember that he was convinced that like the cleric beast or one of the enemies in the Chalice dungeon was Ludwig, and this is pre-DLC, right? And he was like presenting all his facts, quote-unquote facts, about why this was Ludwig. And of course the DLC comes out and then we actually fight Ludwig. Or was it, not Ludwig, but one of those other guys that we don't see, right? But that are only mentioned? Yeah, no idea what his new content is like, and I don't really care to find out, to be honest. I'd rather watch other stuff. But here we go. Let's while we're looking like a hairy, shaky beast man. Lawrence, yes, that's who it was. He was claiming that he knew where Lawrence was in the game. So yeah, I took some notes about the Elden Ring. Let's just read a bit of these notes, and I can kind of expand upon them if something is interesting. So the area that the game takes place in is called the Lands Between, much in the same way that like in Demon Souls it was called Boletaria and Drangleic in Dark Souls 2. So this one is called the Lands Between, and if I'm not mistaken, I feel like they were going to call it the Lands Betwixt in some of the earlier documents that I had read. Goro, that's my guy. Yeah, this is my guy, man. This is like basically a wolf man, and I actually had intended to be the wolf man for Halloween, but I wasn't able to really pull that off in terms of the timing of everything. But yeah, there's certain things you need to do to become the beast man here, which I won't go over now, but you need this weapon, the beast claw. This is right here, the beast claw. It's made from the tooth of a beast. I forget, they even say what kind of beast. And instead of transforming like most weapons in the game, you have an alternate transformed mode. When you use this beast claw and use the transformation, your opposite hand now becomes like a legit monster arm, as you can see here. It's a little hard to see, sorry, all these plants and stuff. But yeah, the monster hand. There you go. Like that. And you need to place a Carol rune in your head. let's just quickly take a look. I never explained this, so might as well explain this now. Cha-cha-cha. Carol rune. Yes, the beast's embrace rune. Assume the form of a ghastly beast. Let me just change my weapon. After repeated experiments in controlling the scourge of beasts, the gentle embrace rune was discovered. When its implementation failed, the embrace became a forbidden rune, but this knowledge became a foundation of the healing church. Those who swear this oath take on a ghastly form and enjoy accentuated transformation effects, especially while wielding a beast weapon, which is the claw here. And this one here, by the way, is the one. This is the Carol rune, and these runes are things that you inscribe on your mind. This is the one that I used to become the Cauliflower Man. And if you notice, it vaguely looks like it's like the letters H and P, as in H.P. Lovecraft. And then this Beast's Embrace obviously looks very much like a claw. And if I take it off, that's how I look. Right? Just a dude, just a schmuck. And then I put this on. Now we're a cool beast guy. And if you don't have that rune, the Beast's Embrace, your attacks are essentially just the normal barehanded attacks. Effectively this. I'm barehanded right now. Yeah, it's just this with a claw on for extended range. But if you have the rune and you equip the claw, you get these attacks. See how it's different? You get a whole new attack, and even your backdash looks different. And then when you transform, as I said, you get a beast claw thing. Whoa, I was like stuck there for a second. And that's a really cool move. I really like that move. You kind of scrape the ground. And this is another cool move right here. Hold on. Not that. This one here. It's like a dive kick. A dive dash. Yeah, so that's pretty neat. This alternate weapon that I have here on the hand where I should have a firearm. This is called the Fists of Gratia, and it's basically just a hunk of iron like a brass knuckle. And I was watching a video, and they said that you can actually do parries with this. I've been trying, but I can't do it, so I would like to experiment because that sounds fun to do. Get some parries on this guy. Alright. So while you guys are looking at my beast man, let's my wolf man, let's get back to this. About Elden Ring. So the bonfires are called sites of grace, and this whole notion of grace, there's a Eurogamer article from like a month or two back that goes more into this, but this notion of grace is kind of like a key plot point in the game and the lore. It's kind of vague to me, like I can't remember it fully, everything that they stated in the article, so I don't want to talk about it too much right now. But yeah, I'll probably link to it if and when I make a full video about it. Another interesting thing about what we saw in Elden Ring was that there are multiple giant golden trees. For the longest time, I thought there was just one. And in many of the screenshots that we have seen for the game, there's usually the tree somewhere in the background. And I thought, like, okay, this tree is just that big that you can see it everywhere, kind of like a landmark, right? Kind of like even the sun. Instead of the sun, there's just a tree. In fact, is there a sun? Have we ever seen the sun, or has the tree kind of replaced the sun? Anyways, but in the new gameplay footage that we've seen, there's there's a shot where they clearly show more than one tree. There's like probably 3, maybe even more. So that's really interesting. It just makes me think gameplay-wise, what does that mean? Like, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to go in the trees. But maybe we won't. I don't know. But there should be some significance to the trees in terms of like gameplay. I just don't know what. And there's other things that I had mentioned already, right? Like you can cast magic from mounted on the horse, as well as attack. And I'm just wondering, how limited is that? How much are you going to be able to do from that stance? I'm not sure. But the fact that you can cast magic from it, and I think shoot your bow, that's a whole lot more than I anticipated already. I thought maybe at most you could just slash your weapon, but it seems like you can do more than that. Then you see what to me is similar to like the Onion Knight. There's that jar guy, and you kick him out. You like basically use a baseball bat and knock him out of his hole. And to me, that kind of reminds me of the Onion Knight. Maybe you're going to see this jar guy periodically throughout the game in trouble. And you'll have to get him out of trouble, right? But I'm also wondering, like, what happens if you kill him? If you kill him, is there going to be an item inside the jar, inside the pot? Or maybe if you do all of his complete quest line, then he'll give you whatever's inside of him. I don't know. The map, we already kind of talked about the map. One thing I'm kind of interested in seeing about the map is, and thus far about this game, is that we haven't actually seen any kind of messaging system for Elden Ring, at least not that I know of. Of course, all Souls games from Demon Souls all the way to Bloodborne, they've included some kind of messaging system where, you know, there's notes on the ground and you can read notes from other players to warn you about danger, to troll you, blah blah blah. And I really don't know if there's anything like that in Elden Ring so far. But if there is, I'm also hoping that they include things like maybe players can include pinpoints on the map, and then maybe that'll show up on your map or in your overworld, maybe on like a friend basis. Like maybe if you put people on your friends list, you can see the things that they've pinpointed on their map. That might be kind of cool as a means of like showing you where you can find treasure, right? What else? You know, in I think the Eurogamer article or somewhere else, they mentioned that you can't ride a horse in multiplayer. When you're playing with other people, that it'll be completely on foot. And I think that sucks, to be honest. I think that kind of bites. But I think it's a bit of a, to me, I think that they did this as a means of like zoning off the areas, because they don't actually want you to traverse the entirety of the overworld while in multiplayer. They don't want you to be able to do that, like, or even have like multiplayer going on and have one guy like far in the north and another guy far in the south, right? They want multiplayer zones to be kind of like sectioned off in you know, fairly sizable chunks. And I suspect that the way they do that is by having you be on foot, because from what we've seen, the horse is able to jump like really high into new areas, into higher elevations and stuff, right? So I'm thinking that effectively you'll be sealed off in a bowl in a zone where had you been able to ride your horse, you would be able to even get to higher and different areas and other zones. I don't know if I'm making myself entirely clear about that, but that's just a theory of mine. I talked about jumping attacks. You can shoot from jumping, and you can also stagger people from jumping. That's pretty cool. Crafting, you can craft weapons. They show that using resources gained. And also there's like endemic life, right? To use the Monster Hunter world term. There's things like deer, I saw, and birds. And I'm guessing that you'll be able to kill that life, the wildlife, and like, you know, get feathers from them, and then turn that into like, you know, flights for bows and stuff. There's a lot of magic in the game. The summoning is very cool. There was like this, not in the sense of summoning NPCs, and I'm actually wondering if that whole thing where like you summon like a gang of guys, I'm wondering if that replaces the normal NPC summoning. You can summon real players, but I wonder if that kind of replaces NPC summoning now. I also think that that's tied into the weapons that you're using, almost like a weapon arts. And again, going back to the Eurogamer article, I think that those spirits, or whatever they're called, are kind of like slotted into the weapon that you're using, I think. And just thinking about like the overworld of the game, if the game had your typical NPC summons, you would have to find that specific area to summon the NPC, right? Whereas if you're doing it the way they're doing it now in Elden Ring, you can always have someone to help you, an NPC that is, ready to help you at any time. So that's more of a convenience than anything else. I said this already, but the overworld boss, there's no fog gate, so the notion that you could be just traveling around the world and then get ambushed and attacked by a monster, like a boss level enemy, is pretty cool. Pretty terrifying and pretty cool. And I did also talk about this, but yeah, to me it feels like magic is going to be far more integrated into how you play the game. Regardless of what kind of build you're going to make, a melee class or whatever, you're still going to use magic in some capacity, because they just really focused on magic a lot in the trailer. I even wrote a timestamp. At 23:40, it seems as though there's no fall damage, or that if there is fall damage, it's going to be very relaxed, like very forgiving, and that you can drop from a very high height. So that's very interesting to me. It just means that you can explore a whole lot more freely now, and not be afraid about falling and dying. And that's probably going to take a little getting used to on my part. I feel like I'll probably be far more cautious than I need to be when exploring. And I won't go for any big drops when, in fact, it seems like you can survive the drops. Here's another note. When you go into the dungeon in the trailer, a skeleton kind of bops his head, kind of fixes his head on his neck, and it's just a funny little animation. I think we've actually seen it before in like Souls games, but to me, that's between that and the pot guy. I feel like there's some humor to be seen in Elden Ring. Something that I feel like Souls games have kind of lost over time is a bit of the sense of humor. They've definitely gotten darker and more gruesome and more serious, right? But thinking back to especially Dark Souls, there was always a bit of a humorous element in that game, especially with regards to Frampt and stuff like that, how goofy Frampt looked. And I welcome that. I welcome a bit of the humor, if it is indeed coming back into Elden Ring. At 12:25, we meet Melina, who's basically going to be your bonfire waifu girl. And they show her face for the first time. She has what seems to be a tattoo of an arm and a hand that's kind of keeping her eye shut. Something like that. It's kind of weird, but another noteworthy thing about that character is that she has lip sync. Outside of cuts, like CG cutscenes, and I think Dark Souls 2, the witches in Dark Souls 2 at the very beginning, most of these games do not feature lip sync. If I go over to the doll right now, she's not going to move her lips when she talks. That's something that we've all come to accept about Souls games. Almost as if it was a stylistic choice. But, you know, we're in the PS5 generation now. It's 2021. These are hugely successful games that have, like, George R. R. Martin tied to it. So I think they have finally decided to include lip sync now for all characters. And then later when we see the boss in Stormvale Castle, he moves his lips. He talks. So that's just really cool in the sense that FromSoft are actually trying to keep up with the times. Well, not even keep up with the times. It's something that all games have done, even as far back as like the PS2. And yeah, speaking of Stormvale Castle, they mentioned that area by name where we find that boss. And they say that it's in the Lingrave region. So I would like to try and find that area on the map. I wonder if it's possible. It'll be a castle, obviously, but I'll need to look at other landmarks and clues that we see in the trailer and then try and relate that back to the map. That might be a fun little thing to try and do. I'm sure someone has already done it though. And the boss that we encounter, he has like multiple phases, much like Bloodborne and Dark Souls 3. And in phase 2, I'm saying phase 2, it could be phase 3 or 4, who for that matter, he pulls out a giant dragon head and uses it as a flamethrower. But that dragon head is something that we've seen in a scene earlier, fighting the mounted boss in the open world. The NPC character whips out the very same dragon head, at least it seems like it, and uses it in a similar fashion. However, when the boss uses the dragon head, he has more attacks, more savage attacks, and in fact, when you're first fighting that boss, he seems to have like wind-based powers. Like he's swirling around, and there's like wind that kind of like a wind effect that follows his attacks. But once he has the dragon head, it's almost as if the dragon fire combines with the wind in the air and kind of makes like a fire tornado, sharknado. And yeah, I'm wondering if maybe severing a dragon head is kind of similar to severing tails, like in Dark Souls 1. You could chop off tails of various enemies and bosses and then turn their tails into weapons and spells. Maybe there's this notion of severing things, not just heads or tails, but the very same boss has many arms. He severed arms. And then that one character that they're making a statue of, her arm has been severed. So yeah, I'm thinking that could be some kind of running theme that impacts not only the story but also the gameplay. I wrote down that at 29:40. Oh, by the way, this time might be off. The timestamps might be off, but this was the original launch video on Bandai Namco Europe, their site, their YouTube channel. You see someone that looks like Big Hat Logan. I just wanted to mention that. The boss, by the way, his name is Godric the Golden, and he's the lord of like all that is gold. And we know that those trees are giant golden trees, right? But also the fall leaves, like that whole region seems to be kind of in like the fall season. and presumably like perpetually always in fall, and the leaves of can be often gold. And we know that Godric is a demigod, and that's interesting because this is a character that's going to be kind of like a bridge between the lore that George R. R. Martin had written, which is like the history of the world, much in the same way that all these Souls games have this great and vast history that happened in the past, right? And occasionally you'll fight the bosses from that very same past, whether it be Gwyn or Seath the Scaleless, right? That's what effectively George R. R. Martin has written, is that past, and Godric is somebody from that history that we're going to be fighting here now in the present. So that's kind of interesting. And they specifically call him like a demigod. So not quite a god in the sense that like Gwyn was a godlike character, but a demigod, which you would associate more with something like Hercules. Hercules is someone that I would call more along the lines of a demigod. And yeah, I talked about the summons in that final battle. You summon this big pumpkin head guy. I don't know if it was a pumpkin. It was a really cool looking character, and I'm wondering if like they have stories and maybe like you can unlock these guys to summon if you complete their stories, or if it's related to the weapons or what. That's very interesting to think about. But they have their own lives, like they can, which is to say they have their own health. And you can clearly see that the helper that you summon dies to Godric during the fight, which happens obviously a lot in a Souls game boss fight. When you fight an NPC, they can die. Not fight an NPC. When you summon an NPC to help you fight a boss, they eventually die because they're just so boneheaded, right? And lastly, the thing I'll note is that on the map in the bottom right corner it says early day, and it makes me wonder if you can manipulate the day-night cycle to make it so that you're going and seeing early day, or you can bring it to the nighttime. Does that have any gameplay implications? I don't know. But that was a lot. That was a lot to talk about just now. Those are the initial notes that I wrote about that video. And I'm going to probably watch the video a few more times and make more notes. And then tomorrow I'll probably put up a video talking about my thoughts thus far about Elden Ring. And to be honest, that might be the last time I talk about Elden Ring, just because, much like Mojo, to a certain point, I don't want to see everything there is to see about Elden Ring. It's only a few months away, so at a certain point, it's probably best to just go black out and just leave the rest to be a big surprise. But yeah, so far that game is looking good, and I mean, I'm looking forward to giving it a shot. Okay. You only watched it once and no more. Yeah. Okay, so this is what I'm banking on. By the way, Bacon, what am I supposed to do now in terms of the story? I have no idea where I'm supposed to go. Where am I now? Where indeed? I can show you what I've done. Like, I totally forgot. Lecture building, second floor. Nightmare Frontier, Amygdala's Chamber. I think the last thing I did was I beat the One Reborn. Yeah. I defeated the One Reborn. What do you do after that? Yeah, I fought the One Reborn. So what happens after that? You go back to that plaza? What plaza? Let's take off this. Where I fought the One Reborn? Okay. So that's, oh, Advent Plaza? Oh, and doesn't it take me to somewhere? Oh. No, I don't know. Right here. Oh, yeah. I think I did this. This thing? Oh, wait. Okay, it's gonna take me somewhere. To the nightmare. The next floor. Like the top floor. So wait, have I been here? Oh, no, I haven't been here. Okay, okay. This is new. Yeah. Okay, cool. Okay, we should get the torch out. This is an effective weapon against these, college broskies. Okay, thanks for the tip there, Bacon. Yeah. I totally, forgot where I was supposed to go. There they all are down there. There's a college bro. Yeah, I was gonna say, Master Willem was right. Evolution without courage will be the ruin of our race. About seeing more about Elden Ring. I think now at this point I've seen enough. I'm tempted to watch more as it comes out, but I might hold off. But at the same time, if I get into the beta, I'm playing it. If I don't get into the beta, am I gonna watch other people play it? That is the great question. That is a hunt the great ones, hunt the great ones. I'll definitely play it if I get into the beta. Because from a certain point of view, I don't need to see any more because I'm definitely gonna play the game. But at the same time, I'm definitely gonna play and buy the game. So why not just play some right now? It'll also be interesting from like a archival standpoint to play the game in its network beta state and take note of the changes that that will occur inevitably. Certainly there will be some differences compared to the official full release, and it might be interesting kind of observing those changes. Those guys are having a splat fest. Mojo, tempted to get the collector's edition? Are you the type of person to buy collector's editions? I don't know. Do you buy many collector's editions? I used to, but I haven't really in recent years, and I might not get the collector's edition because the statue is going to be of mediocre quality at best. Oh, Splatoon. Ooh. And the art book, they say that the art book is hardcover, but it's only 40 pages, so that's not a full art book. Bacon has a number of like legit big art books. I have a few as well, and you know, those are like the real art books are about like, you know, 260 pages. 40-page art book is more or less like a pamphlet, to be honest. It's not really And, well, I have a particular interest in seeing the art books, seeing like big full you know, images and really getting a big overall look at the game after I beat it. So the 40-page one is more or less just a tease for the actual real art book when that comes out. And then steel cases, I'm not a big fan of steel cases because eventually they scratch. They're steel cases. I treat my games pretty well. At least I like to think so. And yet, steel cases will inevitably get scratches and nicks on them, and that kind of annoys me about them. It's one of those things where, but you will also get a giant box if you like big giant boxes. It's one of those things where, if you have the space, I would go for it. But if you're not too crazy about the things that the special edition comes with, then I might just hold off, to be honest. And like, say you want to commemorate the game in some way. By the way, this is a clue about to get the true ending and fight the true boss. 3 third chords. That's one of the clues. I'm one of the people. I'm the kind of guy that will not really observe details like that. The nameless moon presence beckoned by Lawrence and his associates, Pale Blood. Is that the name of the moon presence, Pale Blood? Like, you could put the money that you were interested in getting the collector's edition, you could put that towards buying like some other kind of memorabilia of Elden Ring if you end up liking the game, right? Because, you know, buying a special edition, forking over a good amount of dough for a game that you're not even sure you're gonna like. I mean, there's a high percentage chance that you'll like it, but you never know. It could suck, and then you're suddenly saddled with a bunch of stuff commemorating a game that you don't really care about. But you could set that aside and buy something else from the game. Maybe like a cool statue that another company makes. Maybe a Nendroid, maybe a pop vinyl. Maybe the full art book when it comes out. There's a lot of different things. I think the last 2 special editions that I bought recently, actually they were gifted to me, so I didn't even buy them, but the last 2 ones that I got recently was Persona 5 and The Last Guardian. And I mean, if I was to never buy a special edition again, I think those are 2 really good ones to kind of end my special edition collecting on. If you take out the game, you're essentially paying $120 for the statue helmet plus all the other stuff, which doesn't exactly spell confidence for the quality. You're not particular with the quality. You just kind of want like a cool statue, I guess. I mean, if you want something that's really cool to put in the background while you're streaming, like, I guess that'll do. Hey, a treasure chest. What's in here? Communion. Oh, look. There's a guy up there. It looks cool and it's official. Good enough for me. Get down there. Should I shoot him? Well, I guess he's not harming anyone, so I guess we'll just let him be. Okay. I think I'm probably gonna stop pretty soon, but let's just play a little more. That's my classic phrase at this point. Let's just play a little more. You know, it's interesting you mentioned that it's official. I wonder if there's a big market in like bootleg statues, like from what's that one place? It's like a Chinese eBay, and they have a lot of bootleg stuff. I wonder if there's a market for that. I'm sure there is. Whoa! Ooh! Oh ho ho! Slow down, slow down. Oh, the eels? I forgot about the eels. There's some blood gems. I don't think they're that good. Okay, I think this will be a better weapon. Ooh, these guys kind of hurt. Maybe I'll... Oh, come here, come here. Ooh, a bloodstone chunk. I need those. Chunky, chunky, chunky. Let's, Ooh, I got some insight. This part of the game can be very unsettling and very confusing, but if you decide not to fight and just run, you can kind of get by it fairly easily. Let's try it now. There's an Eye of Sauron that's damaging me. And so long as you're in the sight of this Eye of Sauron, it's actually not an eye, it's like a giant brain kind of thing. Don't take damage. Oh, okay. Abandon. Oh. Okay, we're running. There could be things that I need to pick up here, but let's just carry on. Oh, hurry up, please. Oh my god. Are they gonna come inside? Man, you guys don't want to come inside. Oh, okay, never mind. Okay, we're running. There's a big spider there. Man, if you have arachnophobia, you might just have to put away FromSoft games. There's really nothing that you can do about it. There's just far too many spooky, scary spiders. Holy crap. Okay, what's the strat? Oh, he's got that. Oh. You like tentacles? I got tentacles. God damn. You hate this area because of the spiders bacon? Yeah. Do I hate spiders? I don't really mind spiders, but I feel like the thing that I don't like about spiders is when you see them and they're in a place where they're not supposed to be. So, if I see a spider on a tree, in a forest, on some grass, even in like a spooky old house, I don't really mind, right? Because those are all places where a spider is supposed to be. But if I'm like just chilling on the computer and suddenly I see a spider like on my wall, see, that's not where a spider should be. And then I have a problem. That's when I don't like spiders. But that's not really the spider's fault. That's just... they're just in a place where they're not supposed to be. This is, this spider here is a giant spider. And that's fine. This is a big spooky area, so it's not bad. It's acceptable. Let's see if I can kill this guy. If I can't kill this guy, I'm gonna get something to eat. Yeah, okay, so we're gonna try and kill this guy. And win, lose, or fail, we'll conclude our session. It's time to get something to eat. Let's just get this stuff. Man, there's so many spiders. Are we expecting spiders in Elden Ring? Place your bets. Place your bets. What do you think? What do you think? Spiders in Elden Ring. Oh, he used his auger. This is a battle of auger. Or auger users. Oh. Ooh. Oh, come on. Oh, he's using the Rosmarius. I don't know where to get that, by the way. Ooh. Come on. Really? He's gonna use that on me? Oh, ooh. Oh, we got him, we got him. Got him. Alright. We did it. That was pretty fun. The thing about using the Augur Vibratus, or even a Beast Roar, is that it takes, blood bullets, but it doesn't take stamina to use. So you can spam these attacks, and then when you're out of stamina, you can use Augur to kind of give you some time to replenish your stamina, as you saw just there. And then you can, by doing alternating between the Augur and your normal attacks or Beast Roar, you can really keep up the pressure on your opponent. So that's pretty neat. And there's actually a whole lot that I would like to say about an arcane build. As I said at the start of this stream, I've been doing quite a lot of research about builds and arcane and all sorts of things relating to Bloodborne, but we'll save that for another time. I don't Isn't there a lantern near the entrance? I don't see the one that comes with the helmet. Oh, you're not seeing the one that comes with the helmet? Did it sell out, I wonder? Well, guys, I think that's gonna do it for me. I'm hungry. The call of nature, the call of food has come upon me. So it's time to eat, to feast. But I want to thank you guys for watching. And I'll catch y'all next time. See you later. Bye-bye.